Yo, what's up, and welcome to the live stream here on Free Photos. Today, we're going to be taking a look at ON1 Photo Raw 2023. Now, I have to stress, this is a pre-release version of ON1 Photo Raw. There's going to be some challenges. My computer is already moving slow, so I'm not holding any of that I guess accountable to ON1 because this is a pre-release version of the software. Now, when the full version comes out, I'll do a definitive review, or at least my thoughts, and kind of showcase the features and how they'll be used. Today, what I'm really going to be doing is showing how you could think about using ON1 in your workflow, because a lot of the tools are available in the pre-release. I don't have all of them, like the adaptive AI presets, the update to super select AI. I don't have those, and then content aware fill. Now, if you're not familiar with the new features, head over to the ON1 website. And I don't know if I have it in the description right now, but if you go over to the website, you'll be able to click on the information about ON1 Photo Raw 2023, and then select the appropriate what's new. That's what it is. You'll be able to click on the what's new, and that'll show you what features are coming to ON1 2023 that don't exist in 2022. Now, as I mentioned, I am going to only be sharing information about ON1 Photo Raw 2023 showcasing. This is, I can't stress enough, this is pre-release software, so there could be a lot of changes when the original or the official release comes out. But start thinking through when you see me use these things. How can I use it in my workflow? Is this a tool that I'm going to be using frequently, or very infrequently? And then I'm also here to answer any questions about the experience of editing inside of ON1 2023. I know that sometimes editing inside of a program, it could be clunky. And, so if you have a question about something, and as long as I can understand it through the text, then I'll be more than happy to help answer that. So let's go ahead and take a look here. All right. Good morning, Colin. I'm just taking a look at the chat, see who's here. Let's go ahead and jump over to the screen. All right. So here we are inside of ON1 Photo Raw 2022. And if you see me looking over to the right, it's because, when you're a one-person show, you have to make sure that everything is broadcasting properly. But I also have my notes over here because I don't want to just kind of talk off at a tangent. And if I miss any of your chats or anything of that sort, just know I'm not ignoring you. I am going to take pauses periodically to come back and look at the chat, just to make sure that everyone, that I'm hearing what you got to say. All right, so here we are inside of ON1 Photo Raw 2023, and these are just a few images that I curated so we can kind of take a look at this. So the first up on the list is Super Select AI. Now, there was a request to test out Super Select AI on a spider, so that's what I'm going to do. We have this image right here, and these are from Unsplash. At least most of are the spiders and the butterfly, the muffin. I'll let you know which ones are Unsplash, but they also say it in the title. So when you get to the edit model or module, whatever you want to call this, then you'll be able to hit the letter K. Now, this photo is still thinking and loading. You can see that down in the bottom right here. It's still thinking and loading, so we'll give that. All right, now it's done. We'll go ahead and hit K. And this is just the challenge of doing a live stream. I can't edit any of this stuff out. Now, this is a pretty cool looking spider, and I apologize in advance to anyone who is afraid of spiders and, you know, this triggers you. I apologize. I don't mean to do that. Just trying to follow through on a request. So with Super Select AI, you can see it's starting to pick up some stuff here. And it looks like it gets just that edge of the body. We're going to see if we can get just the spider. So, and then get these legs. Okay, so I think I have a selection of the entire spider here. So what I'm going to do is come over here and we'll just add a little bit of, we'll lighten up the spider. All right, so we'll add that. And let's hit O. Okay, so it did a fairly decent job. Let me get out of Super Select AI. That's one of the things that I think many people are going to run into, myself mostly, is leaving Super Select open. Now I'm using the red overlay because I want to see my image in comparison. You can use the grayscale overlay if you needed to, but that's not what I'm worried about here. So let's see how easy it is just to clean up this mask. We'll grab the brush tool. If ON1 decides doesn't want to play ball with me right now, come on, give me the brush. No, I don't want faces. Oh, fun times. There's no face to find. It'll be interesting if ON1 finds a face on this spider. But come on. So yeah, this is just the challenges of doing a live stream. But while this tries to find a face, I don't know what face it's going to be looking for. Drop any questions in the comment section, things that you want to see. That way I can kind of tailor this experience to those of you who are here live. Like I mentioned before, I do have an agenda, and the I don't know what's going on here. So, as I mentioned before, I do have an agenda, and I will go through that. But if you have specific questions that you would like me to answer, or at least try to answer, because I'm no genius, right? I don't know all of the answers, but I will do my best to give you my fair assessment on certain things. So if that's something you're interested in, then let's do that. And I may have to quit ON1 because it is still thinking here, and it does not want to get rid of this cancel. So let me just go ahead and close out ON1 since it is not cooperating anyhow. But sorry about this, but that is the, oh, I forgot I had ON1 Photo Raw 2022 running in the background. Don't do that. That does not end well for the computer. So that's my bad. I was doing some comparisons earlier this morning between Photo Raw 2023 and Photo Raw 2022, just to see, you know, what's similar, what's different in menus. But I'm not going to share that with you guys because I feel like that's a disservice to ON1. If they haven't already shared it, then I have no business showcasing it. I want to be a good steward to the beta testing program, but also respectful to the fact that if they're not ready to release it, why should I feel the need to share something that I'm not even developing, right? I just want to show you what is already released, and then we can talk about how that works in the average person's workflow. So hopefully, let's go ahead and get this the image. This is very embarrassing. You know, I did a test stream yesterday just to see how well ON1 would do with the streaming software running at the same time. And it seemed like it was working just fine, the test that I did. But, you know, that was yesterday, not today. So we will see. Wow. All right. So here we are. Let's get you back on the screen, and I'm going to change it to just the screen. Okay. So here we are back on the screen here. Let's see if we can pick up where we left off. We were under, or no, it was a local adjustment that we added. And we'll click on the mask here. We'll hit the letter O. That way you see what the mask looks like. And what we're going to do is make this a little bit smaller. And I want to paint this in. So that means I'm going to be erasing red if this works out the way that we want it to. And it looks like it is erasing it. So just takes a little bit of time and moves a little bit slower than I would like it to be moving. But overall, it is working, right? And I'm not going to make a perfect selection here because that is something, you know, refining of the mask. And I think the purpose of the request to, now, I don't know what that's doing. You stop. That was weird. But I think the purpose of the request was really not to have to do this. And here we are having to do this. So Super Select AI, does it work on spiders? Absolutely. Do you have to go back and clean up the mask in the pre-release version? Yes, that is true. You will have to go back and clean up the mask. And this, you know, I think this should do a pretty good job of getting these spider legs. And the reason for that is there's a pretty good contrast. If I turn off this mask or the overlay, you can see the spider legs, they contrast fairly well against the background here. So in my opinion, there's no reason that it shouldn't be picking up the spider and selecting it as a entire subject. Now, right in the middle here, this is an area that needs to be painted out. So, because it selected the background here, and you'll notice that on a few images that the background is going to be selected, and you know that's just the challenge of using this particular software. You know, the Super Select AI. So that is that image. Let's go ahead and hit done, and we'll go back to our gallery. And we'll try one more spider image before we jump on to another type of image, because I don't want to creep everyone out. And I say that right as I click on the spider headshot. If a spider could have a headshot, this would be what it looks like, I imagine. And this spider looks like he has a bunch of water drops all over him. So I don't know. Comment in the down below or to the side. I'm not sure what the comment is on YouTube, but comment if you Sorry, I had to clear my throat. Comment if you think that this is a cool little spider. All right. So super select AI, hit the letter K, and yep, it gets the background pretty good. And I think that that is a fairly decent mask there. We hover over the spider himself, and we're kind of missing a little bit here. But if we click it and then hover over this, now it's starting to pick up that foreground. So this is going to require some masking out. Now we're also missing portions of the spider here, but if I go like that, sorry about that. If I go like that, we got the whole spider, and looks like we're missing a little bit there. So let's go ahead and let's add a bleach bypass. I think that'll be cool. I had a warm bleach bypass. If this thing didn't look creepy already, I'm just looking at some other ones. What does Omaha Beach look like? Yeah, there we go. We're just having some fun here. All right. So we'll add that. And then once it's added, come on, you can do it. There we go. Once it's added, we'll go ahead and click done. And now we'll come over to our mask, hit the letter O. And we see that everything in the background, anything that's red, is not included on the mask. So we need to get rid of this bottom piece down here. So what I'm going to do is click on the mask itself. I'm going to grab the masking bug, and we are going to go with linear bottom. I'm going to click add and just see how this will work out. So I can essentially just add a gradient mask. And that's the cool thing about, ON1. You can add masks on top of mask. So now I can grab my brush tool, and using a fairly decently sized brush, I'll just go ahead and paint away this area here. So now if I hit the letter O, I'm getting just the selection of the spider. So that could be what you're going for. It absolutely could work. Takes a little bit of time. Now I will show what the mask looks like. Let's go to view the subject there, and getting all of these pieces. I don't know why I did that. All right, let's take a look here. The letter O, the letter M. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. So we'll hit O, and let's just Command Z that. Turn that off, go back to our brush tool, and maybe just paint there. I think you guys get the point. I don't want to belabor or just keep dragging this along. So let's move on to another image for the Super Select AI. We'll hit done. And while that's thinking about saving, just go ahead and get some more coffee here. Okay. So let's see how well it does with a picture of these muffins. We'll go to these. Go ahead and hit edit. We'll take a look at these muffins. Now that they're ready to go, we'll hit the letter And come back over here, hit the letter K, and let's see what Super Select does for us on this particular image, because it does some different things. So it's selecting the muffin here, but also the cutting board or whatever this piece of wood is. Now this muffin, it's selected all by itself. So that's pretty cool. It's selecting these muffins as well, and the top of those muffins. But it is still wanting to pick up the cutting board there. So let's see if we make an antique filter. Just do something completely weird. We'll go with warm, right? I just want something that's going to be obvious. It doesn't always have to be the most artistic thing. I just want it to be